James Comey's book tour is a colossal disaster by Amy Moreno for truthfeednews.com. What the heck is James Comey doing? Comey is running around the country promoting a tell-all book while he's under scrutiny for lying under oath, colluding, releasing classified information, and botching Hillary's email investigation for political reasons. Comey is a key witness in Mueller's Russia witch hunt, so should he really make public his version of events? Well, no, he shouldn't, but this is James Comey, arguably not the brightest bulb in the box. From the Hill, announcements of scheduled appearances for the widely anticipated $850 to attend book tour by fired FBI Director James Comey foreshadow a much ballyhooed return to the public square. Media outlets eagerly booked the former director and his opus, A Higher Loyalty, Truth, Lies, and Leadership, briefly jumped to #1 on Amazon's bestseller list. But should Comey, a central witness in special counsel Robert Mueller probe, be making public his version of events, which will certainly differ significantly with what President Trump, the central target in the special prosecutor's probe, has repeatedly stated? Comey was humiliatingly removed by the president last May and enjoyed a brief period of bipartisan sympathy from the disgraceful manner in which he was dispatched. The FBI's seventh director learned of his termination via televised news reports while appearing before an FBI audience in Los Angeles. This is not the manner with which career public servants should ever be separated from service. Yet, with the current president, it has become de rigueur. Initially, taking the high road, remaining silent, professional, and above the fray, Comey has now resorted to directly confronting the president at his own game. He shed his original anonymous Twitter nom de plume, Reinhold Neuber, and directly waded in to criticize and taunt his tormentor. In the immediate wake of FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe's firing and Trump's Twitter gloating, Comey ominously warned, "Mr. President, the American people will hear my story very soon, and they can judge for themselves who is honorable and who is not." And just like that, Comey conceded the tiny sliver of moral high ground he precariously clung to and reduced his position as an advocate of the pursuit of facts into a narcissistic quest to sell books. He unwittingly joined Trump in the pig wallow that currently serves as civil disclosure. He continues to diminish himself and the cherished office he once held. It didn't have to be this way. Comey was appointed to be FBI director by former President Obama in September of 2013. He was quite unlike his predecessors. He enjoyed a cult of personality that resulted in numerous FBI professional support employees, even some agents donning Comey is my homie t-shirts after his humiliating firing by Trump last May. The tears shed following his public scourging were real. I was one of the forlorn feeling in the immediate aftermath that a good man had been done wrong. Yet, recent revelations of his questionable decision-making and lack of courage in failing to stand up to Loretta Lynch, Obama's politicized attorney general and the current president, have changed the views of many of us who carry or once carried the shield of certain shield and credentials of the FBI special agents. We base this assessment on a number of impossible to defend actions and inactions by Comey. Former U.S. Attorney Joseph DiGenova laid out a strong case that Comey contributed to the disgraceful politicization of the FBI, which in part led to his dismissal via stupefying decisions in the Clinton emails and Trump-Russia collusion cases. The former chief prosecutor's adapted remarks, delivered in a speech in January at Hillsdale College's Alan P. Kirby Jr. Center for Constitutional Studies and Citizenship, can be found in the February 28th edition of Imprims in a piece titled "The Politicization of the FBI." Comey is certainly viewed as a polarizing figure by many Americans. Part of what makes him such an enigma to those of us who served under him was that he could appear so courageous and yet so self-admittedly cowardly. His speech at Georgetown University in February, "Hard Truths, Law Enforcement, and Race," was an unprecedented acknowledgement by an FBI director that at times people of color don't receive equal treatment under the law. It was a seminal moment. Yeah. So, in other words, he's trying to be. He's taking us back like 100 years. You know what? It was a seminal moment in the lagging effort to achieve a police partnership with inner city communities by honestly engaging in speaking truth to power. It was a brave speech, in my estimation, the high watermark of his directorship. But the sober, courageous director who gave those remarks exited the stage long ago, replaced by a character on Twitter. Emboldened by the left's new adoption of him as a victim/messiah, he has shed any pretense of professional stoicism and seemingly cares little that self-indulgently discussing his interactions with the president now before the probe concludes may deleteriously alter the outcome. What are we talking about? I thought we were talking about his book tour being terrible. Then again, recall his less than honorable leaking of the memos through a surrogate to the New York Times. His explanation that he hoped it would trigger the appointment of a special prosecutor was a clear abdication of responsibility. His 9 encounters with the president left him admittedly uneasy, and as he shamefully recounted to Senator Dianne Feinstein during a Senate Intelligence Committee hearing last June, maybe other people would be stronger in that circumstance, but that's how I conducted myself. Okay. In failing to challenge the president, one only needs to recall Comey's failure to also push back on the aforementioned Lynch. In order to establish a sad pattern of behavior, Lynch added to the undeniable politicization of the Department of Justice by outrageously suggesting that the FBI referred to the Clinton investigation as a matter. This was language repeatedly utilized by the Clinton campaign to dismiss a federal investigation as much ado about nothing. Comey testified that Lynch's directive left him feeling queasy, but instead of appropriately pushing back on the Attorney General, he somehow felt the issue wasn't a hill worth dying on. Many inside and outside of the FBI disagree. While these revelations are supremely disappointing, it is his current vainglorious effort to set the record straight amid the hugely consequential Russia probe that seems to so reckless, foolhardy, and self-serving. It appears to add credence to the president's charge that Comey is, first and foremost, a grandstander. Comey's book tour may indeed settle an old score, but it will undoubtedly diminish what's left of his once bulletproof reputation and expose to further irreparable harm the agency he once professed to so deeply love. Let us know what you think. I thought his book tour was a disaster. That's what the title said. Is a colossal disaster? Yeah, he's a colossal disaster, but I guess the idiots want to watch him. If it hit the #1 in Amazon for a while, maybe he bought all the books. I don't know. Could be. And his friends probably. So I don't know. He's just a disgrace. So he has some nerve talking about a higher loyalty. I mean, we didn't need a whole article to tell us all of this. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we already know what James Comey is guilty of. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.